I'll be going through the answers quickly, so make sure your course book is open and in front of you, and please stop and rewind the video as you need to. So, got your book open in front of you? Are your answers in capitals? Want to know why the answers are the answers? Then let's go. For question number 1, we need to choose the correct word, the correct adjective which collocates with weather. We're talking about bad weather, terrible weather, weather which is extreme. If that's the case, the only possible answer that we can have here, the only collocation that works is severe, severe weather. For question number 2, we're talking about seasons. Seasons are periods of time. This will help you in terms of your thinking. In terms of time, you can either be on time, you can be late, or you can be early. And seasons are exactly the same. Early season, late season, and so on. Here, if we have a look at the answers, we can see that C is early, and that's exactly why it's the answer. For question number 3, context is important here because it talks about reporters and they get together. In other words, they meet in a particular place. So they come from all different directions to meet in one particular place. So we need a verb to communicate that particular idea. And if we have a look at that, if we have a look at the answers, we've got gather, group, crowd, combine. The only one that makes any sense here is A, to gather. Question 4, this is a test of your vocabulary because what we need here is a collective noun to describe cameras. Is it a large quantity of cameras, a large number of cameras, large total of cameras, or a large sum of cameras? Of course, the answer is B, a large number of cameras. For question number 5, the key word here, apart from the context, which basically means we're looking for a word which means the same as change, apart from that, the important word here is the preposition into. Which one of these answers collocates with into? You don't get into, or you can get into, but rather it talks about entering something, whether it's a car or a building, but you don't enter a major celebrity. Become into? Nope. Took into? Nope. Turn into, which means the same as change? Yes. That's why the answer is D. For question number 6, the context tells us that we're talking about, rather the text is talking about, people arriving in Punxsutawney. If you're looking for a phrasal verb that means the same as arrive, and you have a look at those 4 options that you've got, then you'll quickly come to the conclusion that the only one that means the same as arrive is A, which is to turn up. For question number 7, we need to analyse the sentence to work out what we need here, because if we do that, we can see that there is a subordinate clause followed by a main clause. So the main clause is, Phil saw his shadow and returned to his hole, ... That is in contrast to the idea in the subordinate clause, which is the large crowds were hoping for predictions of good weather. So we've got a relationship between the subordinate clause and the main clause, which is in contrast, which means that we need the correct subordinate conjunction to suggest this contrast. If we have a look at the answers, we've got A, which is despite, which is a contrast subordinate conjunction. The only problem is that it doesn't fit the language pattern that we've got. Unfortunately, despite the large crowds we're hoping for, it doesn't work. What about still? Still the large crowds we're hoping for. Once again, it doesn't communicate the correct idea of contrast that we're looking for. Otherwise, once again, it doesn't give us the contrast that we need. So the only answer that we can choose here is B, although. For question number 8, the key thing here is the words right at the end, few more weeks. We're talking about time. If we're talking about time and how long something takes, then automatically we should be looking at those answers and we should go, okay, there's only one possible answer that we can use in this case, and that is last. C, last for a long time, or indeed last for a short time.